I closed over 350 deals right now and created between 100 and 200k in revenue for the companies that I did sales for. Just estimating here, I talked to over 4,000 people right now in any type of sales conversations, when it was cold calling or just closing deals. What I found out is that there are tricks and things you can do to communicate effectively. And I'm gonna give you right now the structures and things that helped me to have a more effective communication style. We will do this to a certain amount of topics. We will talk about engagement, them, not you, and being on the same page. Let's start with engagement. Engagement starts with showing that you are actively listening. You can do that through a couple of things, just things you can actually do, like nodding your head or watching somebody just straight into the eye. Just look people in the eyes. It's not weird. I mean, it would be weird if I talk to the camera like this or like this. Then you do not feel engaged. Just look people right into the eye and just nod your head a bit. You can also give confirmation sounds when you're talking to someone, like just, yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, cool, yeah, I understand. Those are just signs, things you can do to actively engage in a conversation so people feel more heard. And that's the goal about engagement. People actually need to feel heard. It's not about just making them feel like you hear them. It's also about just actively listen to what they're saying. Conversation structure I use a lot in almost all of my conversations is LSA. To listen, you summarize, and you ask further questions. In this way, you give them engagement sounds, like nodding your head, looking in the eye, and yeah, just sounds like, yeah, oh, cool, yeah, okay, all right. And you actively listen to what they're saying. They feel heard because they see you are engaged in the conversation, and after they're done talking or when it's the right time to interrupt them, you can summarize what they said, you can ask further questions. Why? Because you listened. LSA. Now let's dive into this next topic. Every conversation is about them, not you. You know that the most used word in every conversation is I. It's the most used word just worldwide. That's crazy, right? Just do this as an exercise. When you're in certain conversations with your mom, your dad, your brother, your friends, your family, no matter with who, just watch and listen. Just count the amount that they say I. People always feel the need to talk about themselves most of the time. So make the conversation about them, because you also have the same urgency most of the time, of course, to talk about yourself. This is something I did a lot as well, and I actively had to unlearn. Also, when you talk about yourself in a conversation that is about them, not you, use storytelling. But use storytelling in a way that people feel engaged and that you level with them. So use a story that makes sense to their story, like, oh, I felt this way as well through XYZ. For example, I know what it feels like to be broke because I've been broke and lived on crackers for 2 months. I know what it's like to have uncertainty in my life. Why? Because I got kicked out of school 2 years ago. Those are things, those are stories that I actively lived through, but I can tell to people so they can relate better to me. So make it about them. Say that you understand them. Just through experiences, through stories. We've done storytelling since ages. It's what most of our society is just built upon. Stories. And when you're actively in a conversation, when you make it about them, when you do not use I too much, or when you use stories to engage with them, to level with them, so they can recognize themselves more in you. You can also ask questions to make it about them. One of the frameworks I use for that is the golden circle. I've talked about this before in older videos, but it's never wrong to repeat things. The golden circle is like 3 circles. You have one big one inside of that, and a smaller one inside of that. It's a questioning method that you can go to the core of subjects more easily. Within the golden circle, the outer ring of the circle is what. So what are you doing right now? Then the second row of the golden circle is how are you doing it right now? The third row of the golden circle is why are you doing it? So then you have like 3 layers to dive deeper into a topic. So what are you doing right now? Oh, I'm eating a banana. But how are you eating the banana? Yeah, just peeling it off. Oh, why are you peeling it off like that? Well, because my mom told me to once and I thought this was the right way, or whatsoever. It's a stupid example, but you get the point. What, how, why get you deeper in the conversation. Or just to simplify all of this, to make it about them, not you, be genuinely interested in people. Right now I'm in Listen, and the thing that helps me meet people, the thing that helps me connect with people is actively asking questions because I'm interested in them, because I'm interested in their lives, because I want to know more about them, because it's about them for me, it's not about me. Just ask fucking questions and be genuinely interested. The most interesting people are interested people. And then last but not least, it's about being on the same page. That's the thing, like we already talked a bit about the fact that people want to recognize themselves in them, because I is one of the most used words. But when you're on the same page, when you can actually understand each other, when you just communicate openly and honest, things will get a lot easier. And believe me, I experienced this firsthand. Being on the same page is just about truly understanding their perspective. But you can only truly understand someone else's perspective if you're actually listening, if they are open, if you ask the right questions, and if you keep on summarizing and just ask if you understand them correctly. But they also need to understand you correctly. Like in a lot of sales calls that I'm doing, I always set the agenda. What that means is first we need to know where you are, then we need to know where you want to go to, then we're gonna make a strategy of what you need to do to get there, and of course in the end of the conversation, when I think we have an offer that suits your needs, I can make an offer at the end of the conversation. But right now I'm not gonna make this offer because else it would be kind of stupid, because I don't know what you need right now. So let's dive into it. Who are you? I want to know more about you. Can you tell me a short story about yourself and why you are here? What are your problems? That's like setting the agenda for the conversation so you're on the same page and they know what to expect. Certainty is one of the human needs. It's just a psychological need people have. And when you are on the same page, when you set an agenda, for example, you give them some type of certainty. You give them some type of perspective. And that helps a lot on being on the same page. Also, just if you don't say what's going on in your head, people won't know. People will not have like psychedelic powers that they can read your thoughts or shit. No, it's just people won't know what's going on in your head if you don't tell them. They do not feel it from your aura. They do not like read your thoughts or whatsoever. No, that's just stupid. Just, if something is on your mind, tell it to them. And the same goes the other way around. When you want to know what's on someone's mind, ask a fucking question. Don't make an assumption. You will never know what's going on in their mind because it's not your mind. If you ask and do not make an assumption, you know it for sure. So never assume, just ask or tell. And that's the most important thing. Like, the more you're on the same page with people, the further you come in any type of conversation and in any type of collaboration. But it always starts with actively listening, making it about them, not about you, and really trying to understand their perspective. Alright, visionaries, that's it for today. I hope this video was valuable. Let me know what your thoughts are about it. And like, subscribe, and share this video with others. I will speak to you next week. Ciao.